is so nice on you.
I
Sorry.
was about to say good morning. Good morning and welcome back to my YouTube channel.
Good morning. It is morning though.
Welcome
It
back
is
to the
morning.
Pay Attention
Podcast.
Why do we always do
Vocals.
this?
We're such good singers.
Do you know what? We're actually iconic.
We are actually iconic, to be fair. I love that hoodie on you so much.
I didn't mean to wear this back to back in the podcast.
Yeah, we actually have recorded another episode.
We've recorded another episode, but we're switching it out because we want to talk about Barbie. There will be spoilers, not yet though. So you can watch until I'll put the timestamp on the screen of when Barbie chats start. But so we're doing a bonus.
Yeah.
It's not a bonus really, but
it's just going to be earlier than the other.
We're just doing a switch.
We're doing the old switcheroo.
So today's Tuesday and this is Wednesday's episode. So it's really like up to date on what's going on with us, because usually we're like a week or two.
Ahead a bit. Or like a few days, we might be 5 or 6, but a lot happens in those 5 or 6 days.
It does, because my auntie rang me about the whole Snapchat situation.
Yeah.
She loved it. She was like, she was like,
So
I could
funny.
feel the fear like in my belly
I
from
was
you.
giggling. I was telling Aoife about it and I was laughing so hard, telling her, I was like, it's coming out on Wednesday. Like, I couldn't even talk. I was just like, you just need to listen to it when she says it. It's so much funny.
It was so, and she, now,
that last week's episode.
that was only, but that happened.
That happened
so
ages
much.
ago.
Like my auntie was like, I can't believe he ghosted you. Like maybe he was married. I was like, oh no, I'm talking to him again.
Yeah,
I'm not on
update.
Snapchat. Update.
They're talking again.
We
And
haven't been-
Snapchat's been removed. from
Snapchat's
the
gone.
equation.
There's no ghosting, and communication is
Key.
And
Yeah.
that's all we're saying
And
on that one.
she didn't even have to move to another country and delete all her social media and get a new identity,
Do
which
you know
is great.
what? When you're a witch, you can make anything happen. And like, no, he wasn't ghosted. Like,
No, he wasn't.
Why would anyone ghost me?
Honestly, no one would. And if they were in their right mind, they wouldn't anyway. So do you know what I mean?
So I
Dead
wasn't getting
right.
ghosted. There was just
There
miscommunication.
was just a little moment there.
But
A
yeah,
little bit of a moment. But so now, right?
I'm still using Snapchat.
Yeah, we talk to each other on Snapchat now because it's her form of communication. These are what I call workers' hands, everyone. And unfortunately, you're going to have to see them on next week's episode as well, because like we said, we're doing the switcheroo. But I'm getting my nails done tomorrow. No, it's Thursday. 2 days' time. I'm so excited.
What are we thinking with the nail design?
So I'm thinking stiletto, like yourself. Because the last few times I've had coffin and square, and I haven't had stiletto since before Christmas. I went on a road from like September to December all stiletto, so I needed a change. But now I'm like, it's moving back to that point of the year anyway where I usually start getting stiletto again, so I'm going to get stiletto. The only thing I find is I get really, really crazy designs on my nails when I get my nails done.
I used to be that girl.
Yeah, I really do. And
Push the boat.
in stiletto, you don't have the space to kind of play around with a lot of ideas.
Yeah, in coffin, there's a lot more space.
There is. And square is the most. You can get so much designs done on a square. But I don't like square because they catch on everything for me.
They break easier. That's what my
They
nail
break
girl said.
so much
Stiletto
easier.
doesn't break as... Oh yeah, because my nails are done. Cause
Yeah, they're
last
so
episode
nice.
I didn't have these.
Oh yeah, show them their nails.
So
They're
if
pure
you're watching
Barbie
the
theme.
pod, you can... They're like Barbie chrome.
They're so
They're
cool.
actually stunning,
And I would have
beautiful
never
gorgeous.
thought to get like pink chrome because I did green
know.
chrome before.
Yeah,
I
because
did,
there's
like-
kind of a green, like if you look
Yeah.
at them, but they're actually so Barbie.
I had this it was like green blue petroleum. It was like petrol green.
I remember them.
They were like chrome. They were so cool because this, lads, I'm telling you, the second it gets September 1st, I literally am like winter nails, like all winter nails.
Yeah,
on my
autumn
hands.
winter nails.
Yeah, literally, I'm like dark everything. Like I'd be getting like skulls and stuff put on my nails, and like I'm crazy. And then for Christmas, I have them so plain. You know the way people usually do. You get Christmas nails?
Last year I just got plain red. Like
plain
a
red
Christmas,
is really nice.
a Christmas
I think.
red. I have like my nail design era. I used to sit with the owner of House of Glamour, Inga.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, she's been my nail girl since I'm gonna say like 2016, 2017.
God,
like
that's
we
so
go
long.
way back, like all the
Yeah.
way till she was working
Is
in
she the
different
one who
salons.
does your nails now?
She doesn't do them now because she doesn't like
do them anymore.
And she recommended me to Larissa, the girl I do now.
Okay.
But I used to sit with Inga for like 8 hours. Like,
Yeah.
she used to do the craziest, like, hand-painted. Like, I'd be just put my hands out and be like, do what you want.
Yeah, I did that with my nail
Yeah.
tech once, and like I came out with the coolest nails.
Oh.
I think I'm gonna tell her to do that on Thursday. I'm gonna be like,
Do, because
freestyle
they're
it.
the professional.
Yeah, she's so cool.
And they always have cool ideas.
I went in with her because I went through this phase where all I was getting was French tip kind of nails.
Yeah.
And I sent her in this thing, and I was just like, so I'm thinking about getting like, you know, the chrome tip. And she was like, okay. And I was like, I sent it to her in text message, and she goes, I think you're actually going to hate that when it's on your hand. And I was like, you know me so well. So when we went in there, I was like, what do you think I should do? And she goes, well, and I was like, do you know what, just freestyle it. I was like, do whatever you want. And she's like, are you sure? And she's like, maybe I'll make one of the fingers like a French tipped, just to see if you're easing your way back into it yet or not. But she did this like really funky and cool, like black and silver, a metal chrome like nails, and there was like a heart tattoo design on one of them. Like one of them was like airbrush. Like each one of them was like designed.
Different designs, yeah.
So I think I'm just gonna do that on Thursday and be like, do whatever you want, like. Yeah, because they were the best ones I had.
Yeah, no, I think nails as well. Like, when I could never not have nails now.
Yeah, same.
Like, there's such an expression of like...
And like, look how small my hands are. Like, that's
yes,
so funny.
Mine are the same.
I literally have like hands that look like 7-year-old hands. Like, that's not normal. I'm 5'7.5", guys. This is weird how small my hands are. Like, I've got freakishly small hands.
I'm 5'7.5".
Yeah, the half matters.
The half does matter.
It's so funny because my friend Ashling, like, she'll always send me that meme, and it's just like me without nails and me with nails, and it's like literally my hand versus yours. Like, it's like the difference is crazy.
I just don't feel like myself without nails on.
Yeah.
And I could never...
I feel like if I don't have my hair extensions in or my nails on, I'm not myself. My personality is not the same. I'm a different human being. I'm not full Niv. Like, I'm not...
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm not 100% myself. But when I get them done, I'm like...
Oh, like, that's... like, and I think I've been going through this, like, glam era where I'm doing my makeup so much more than I usually would.
I love it.
And, like, yesterday I didn't wear makeup, and it's not that I don't feel pretty without makeup or I don't feel like I can slay a selfie without makeup. Like, I can.
Yeah.
My skin's glowing. We love it. But there's something about putting on your makeup.
You just feel put together or something. Like,
you just feel like, I don't
Makeup's
know,
for the
it
girlies,
just
though.
does something. Yeah, that's what I mean. It does something to my brain chemistry that I'm like... I think it's the whole process of like sitting down, doing my makeup, like it's like self-care.
And you go on live as well.
And I go live on TikTok,
good.
so I'm not
I
like
love watching them.
on
I'm, like,
my phone.
in while she's doing it.
I love going live on TikTok. And
She was getting ready today, and I was getting ready to shoot, and I was texting her, and I was like, "What?" I was like, "What are you wearing? What are you doing?" But yeah, I agree. Like, because I remember at the start, like when I used to like, because obviously you know when you work from home and the pandemic and everything, like we got like. You know, people were getting done up to go to their living rooms or getting done up to go to Big Tesco, which was such a slay, by the way. But I stopped wearing makeup for work and stuff. And then, you know, I work a lot online, so I'm always at home on my laptop. And I just forgot to, like, invest in myself by putting the makeup on. And I remember one day, I was feeling quite ill, and I was like, well, look, if I feel ill, I'm going to look shit, so I'm going to put makeup on. And I actually felt better because of the fact I had makeup on. Like, it was like a placebo effect. I felt so much better about myself. So I was just like, you know what, I'm going to do this in future. If I don't feel like 100% happy, or if I do feel happy and I just want to make myself feel a bit prettier that day, or if I feel sick, I'm going to put the makeup on because it'll make me feel better.
That's the thing with makeup. Like, on day 1 and day 2 of my period, I do my makeup.
Yeah.
Because I think I got into the same, like, during the pandemic and even after. And the days were just, like, rolling. Like, you'd sleep in pajamas or clothes or a tracksuit or whatever. And then you'd put on, like, this, like, just tracksuit pants and a hoodie.
I know.
Not do your hair, not do your makeup, and the days would just roll into each other. And it's not... I think a lot of people think, like, makeup is, like, a clutch or a crutch. Not a clutch, a crutch. Like, even on my live, like, so many people are like, oh, you look so much better natural, like, you don't need all that makeup. I'm like, I'm not doing makeup because I think I need makeup.
And you definitely don't, and you know you don't, but it's like you're doing it for yourself.
And I literally, that's why I put up that selfie yesterday. I was like, I can slay a selfie with, like, just because I'm not wearing makeup today.
Your skin is glowing as well. Like, you know the way your skincare is such, like, your skincare routine is so glam, that when you put makeup on, your skin's still glowing underneath it.
See, I think that's the Cicaplast Balm B5 Plus. Okay. Because the plus is very important. No, the one with the plus tip broke me out like so bad. But
really?
Yeah, and I think because it's a barrier cream, it doesn't, the makeup, because I've been wearing, doesn't sink in. Because I was like, I'm wearing makeup so much now.
Yeah.
And my skin is as good as it was when I wasn't wearing makeup for like weeks on end.
Yeah.
And I think it's the barrier cream.
That's crazy. So what is it? The Cicaplast C+?
The C+, Cicaplast, it's the Cicaplast Balm B5 Plus.
Okay, the plus is important.
So yeah, the Cicaplast Balm B5 Plus.
Plus.
The plus is very
I
important.
must get it.
That's like the last thing I put on.
I think I got that for Abby for Christmas because I know that she's really sensitive skin, so I get her I got her like a little package of La Roche-Posay things.
That's really cute and thoughtful.
Yeah.
I love a thoughtful gift, actually.
Same. I'm like, if you get me something really thoughtful, it could be like a book or something like really small. I'm like, oh, I love that shit.
Like at Christmas time, me and all my friends do Secret Santa. Every year without fail, I will know who everyone else has, because everyone's like, I got this person, what would you get them? Because I'm
you're the best at getting presents.
So I don't know. It's because I think I grew up. I listen to people, and none of my friends listen to anyone. No, I grew up around. My dad is very like, he came from a family of like gifts, and not in a materialistic way, but in a like gift giving way. Like my dad would, if he was like, what do you want for your birthday? And I was like, money. He'd be like, no, like that's not a present. Like there's no thought in that. So I grew up around that. So if I think of like what to get someone, I just think of their personality. Like it's not about, like I remember actually Aoife, she had me for the Secret Santa one year.
Did she?
She got me a case. It was such good present. She got me a case of White Monster and a voucher for CH.
Oh my God, that is so
And I was like,
funny.
that's so me
So
though.
you, yeah.
Because a voucher is a good present.
Yeah.
If you know the person,
Of
like
course,
really shops it.
yeah.
And then like it's not
White
actually hard
Monsters,
to buy presents. You just have to think about the person.
Just go on her YouTube, really, with you. It's just like, go on YouTube, figure out what she likes, and it's easy to get. We do Secret Santa as well with our group, and like, it's so funny because we only started doing it like 2 years ago, but 2 years in a row I had the Lennon sisters. So like, I had like, Maeve was mine the first year, and she got me a bottle of tequila, and I loved it, and a little shot glass with a bee on it for Boston.
That's so cute.
And the next year Emma got me, but she got me like this really nice candle. I was so sick and it went out. It was like this really nice candle, like, and there was like matches in it, and there was like, and then it had like a coffee cup holder with my name on it, like, you know, a thermal kind of one to keep it hot, which, because I'm always drinking coffee, like. And I was like, oh my God, this is so nice. And then she was like, did you see the tequila? And I like opened the thing. There was loads of little bottles of tequila on the inside of it. I was like, oh my God, you know me so well.
That's so cute.
But it was so funny because our friend Dave, like, he got our friend Aisling, and he got like a tattoo on his leg of her dress. I with like a snail, because that was like a private joke. He's covered in tattoos. But he also got her a gift as well, but he was like, this is the best part of it, and he just lifted up his leg, and she started laughing. She goes, did you get that tattoo? And he was like, yeah. It was so fucking funny. Like,
that is brilliant. I love buying presents for people. I think it's so fun.
We love doing these ones where they're like funny, but you also get them a nice one. Like, we always like try balance like a funny one with the thing. So
so good.
It's so good. We rent an Airbnb every Christmas and like go there for like 2 days. It's so nice.
Oh, it's like the Wham movie.
Yeah, it's so nice. Like,
that's actually so cute.
Because like everyone like is in different parts of the world. Like Ronan and Aisling are up in Dublin, and you know Dave Courtney was actually in Limerick, but she's home now, and then I was over in Manchester, so we were all in different places. So it was like trying to get the group together is so hard.
Oh my God, so
you know
hard.
yourself.
I know, like I feel like both of our friend, like, it's not like everyone's here.
No, they're all in different places.
So you have to like pick a day, and that's why I started doing the Gals Day thing, because we do it like a whole day.
Yeah.
And that's why I started organising it, because I was like, we just have one day, because everyone's so. And it started years and years ago when no one had, because obviously we're older now. Actually, the Airbnb thing sounds really cool.
Yeah,
and like in my head, I'm like,
so
we
much
could,
fun.
And especially from that time after Christmas. It's July, but anyway, after Christmas to New Year's. Yeah,
and we do it in Kerry, so we're not too far from home, because like, you know, with the lads of travel so much, they're going to be jet lagged, like, because like if you're on American holidays, you don't actually get that much time off. No. So they go home pretty much after St. Stephen's Day back to America. But it was so funny because like every year something happens. Like, so the first year, like a few people like had to drop out because of COVID, and like it ended up just being a small few of us, but we were like all the way down in Skelligs. But this year year, we were like, oh, we'll get a smaller place because, like, you know, loads of people dropped out last year, so maybe they won't. But everyone came this year and they brought their boyfriends. So, like, we were literally sleeping on the floors and there was beds, and, like, it was so funny. We had a hot tub. We all got in even though it was snowing outside. I got a chest infection out of it, but it was so funny because after I came out of the hot tub, I took off, like, my top, like, because I wore a t-shirt in it because it was so cold. And then I put it on the stove, or, like, I just laid it out because I was like, it'll dry, because the stove had turned off, so I was like, I'll leave it there overnight, it'll dry. And it had dried, right?
Oh, I thought you were going to say caught fire.
So we went to Dingle for the next day because we were in camp, so we were quite close to Dingle.
Yes.
So we went back, we had lunch, and then we came back to start drinking. And my friend Dave, like, he loves lighting fires. He loves being cozy. Like, that's his thing. He's like, he loves, like, comfy cozies. Like, he's like you. He loves, like, incense and candles.
Is this
and, like,
man a Taurus?
Yeah. I think. Oh no, he's a Gemini. He's 24th. Oh, he's a Taurus.
He could be a Taurus.
He's on the cusp. Yeah.
He's on the
cusp.
He loves being cozy.
He loves being cozy, and he just loves all things. So he came in and it was fucking freezing outside, so he was like, right, I'm gonna light all the fires, right, because there was these two stoves, one in the kitchen and one in the thing. And I obviously had forgotten my t-shirt was on the top of the thing, and he lit the fire, and next minute there was just smoke coming. I was like, what's that smell of burning? And I honestly froze in, like, PTSD, because I don't know if people know this, but my room burnt down when I was in 3rd year.
We need to tell that story next.
I'll tell that story next, but I literally, like, froze. I started sweating so much. I was like, oh my God. And then Dave, because, like, my cousin Tara, she just jumped in straight away and, like, scraped the top, because the top had, like, melted. I don't know what plastic it was made of, but it melted into the fucking thing. So she was scraping it off with a spatula, and then she was, like, putting water on it and scrubbing it to make the smoke away, and she's like, open the doors and close the kitchen door, I'll get rid of it. So her and her boyfriend were doing it, and I was like, I'm so sorry, let me do it. But I couldn't function, because I actually think I was just so traumatized. So I was standing there and I was like, oh my God. And Dave thought it would be funny to go upstairs and put on, like, a fire alarm on the speaker we had. So I panicked, right? And in the middle of all of this, I was like, oh my God, like, I need to stop this. So I grabbed a chair and I stood up on the chair and I touched the fire alarm and I set the fire alarm off in the thing.
You were trying to turn it off and you turned it on.
On, because it wasn't even going off. Real. And I started bawling, like, inconsolably, like, hyperventilating, crying, because
that's your cancer moon.
Yeah, because I literally, like, I couldn't stop crying. I was so upset. And I don't think, like, he realised I was going to cry that, because I think he completely forgot about my room burning down. And then everything calmed down and I couldn't stop laughing at the fact that I literally turned on the fire alarm. Anyway, it was perfect. But the next day, like, so anyway, we were staying there for 2 nights and we were checking out on the 3rd day, obviously, and I was so nervous that there was going to be damage. But we're really respectful when we stay in Airbnbs, you know, we clean up and everything afterwards. The place is exactly how we leave it, like, do you know what I mean? So we were cleaning up the next day and I was so nervous, and Dave sent in a screenshot to our group chat, and I was like, nah, this is it, he's going to charge me, I'm going to have to pay about €400 for smoke damages. And it was like this raving review about how good Dave and his friends were. They left the place exactly how they found it, and, like, we'd really recommend them again and all this. And I was like, my heart just fell out of my arse. I thought I was going to have to pay like €500 and thing, like, but no, it was so funny. But the story about the room burning down,
I actually remembered that.
It was crazy. Like, I was like, set the scene, like 20, I don't even know
when
it was.
3rd year. Like, we weren't friends, but I heard, like, Neve Byrne's room
it was the talk of the town. And I think it was actually, I think the reason why it was so funny is my last name is Byrne, so people were making like pages on Facebook, and it was like the ironic moment when Neve Byrne burns her room down, and I was like, what the fuck? But so I was inside school, and I used to be freestyle disco dancer back in the day, and I used to do, like, hip-hop dancing and all that, so dancing was my passion. Like, it was my
totally
life.
Forgot about that you had that era until you were posting on your stories last night. I was like, I totally forgot Neve was, like, a full-on, like,
competitive dancer. Loved it so much, and, like, it was genuinely my life. But I should have been studying for my junior cert at this point, right? So this is like a week before the mocks. My parents were like, I did after school study and everything, but I was like, this one day, I really want to go to dancing. So I texted my dad, and I was like, on the click button phones, this is how long ago it is, like, and I was like, hey Dad, is there any chance I could skip after school study tonight? I'll be so good, you know, when I come back. I'll be so good the weekend. I'll do extra study, and like honestly, I promise I'll study so hard the weekend. And my dad texts back and he was like, "Hi darling, no bother darling. I'll pick you up at 3:45 darling. Love you darling." And in my head I was like, Neve, make a mental note of what you said there, because what you said was so good.
Oh, it worked.
It worked.
Those messages trying to get out of after school study, I sent so many of them.
I was like, tried and tested. This is the message.
You were like, this is
works.
the message. Copy paste.
So school ends. I get into the car and I'm like, "Hi dad," and he's just like, "Hi darling." So anyone who's not watching this, I'm like rubbing Rebecca aggressively on her shoulder. "Hi darling, oh, you're a great girl. You had a great day today, did you? Oh, we're so proud of you darling. We love you so much." And I was just like, that message worked so well.
You were like, I
was like, he was like, "You're so great." And I was like, "Yeah, I am great actually, haven't I?" Like, and then it just went on and I was like, okay, that's fine. Went home, and as we got to our gates, Dad was like, so bear in mind, I've lived 25 minutes
So
away
he
from
was
school.
trying all this drive to think of like how to
tell me, but he just thought, "I'll wait till we get to the house." He just kept telling me like how proud of me he was and stuff. And anyway, in fairness to my dad, how the hell do you tell your child that everything they own has just been burnt in a fire?
Stop.
So we pull up to the gate and Dad is like, "I don't want to alarm you, Niamh, but there's been a small fire in the house. But it's fine, it was only a small fire and it's out now."
It was only in one room.
I was like, "Oh, that's no bother, Dad," because you assume it would be the kitchen. And I was like, "Where was it?" And we were driving up, and my driveway is windy, so as you don't see the house when you initially get into the gate, so as you drive up the driveway and turn around, I just like looked to the left, and there was my makeup table with my laptop melted into it. My iPod Touch I just gotten for Christmas. So this was the start of February. It had just been like after Christmas. My BlackBerry I had just got, but I wasn't bringing to school because I didn't want it to be taken off me.
Yeah, because your school was very strict.
Very strict to phones. So my brand new BlackBerry, I had this shitty clicky one. Not even like my iPod Touch, everything was on there. Like, so all my new things were gone, and I was like, "Oh fuck, all my perfumes and everything were on that as well." And I was like, "Oh, it's fine." And he said it was only by the window, and I was like, "Okay." I go waltzing into the house, and I went to go get something out of my room because I was like, "Oh sure, like my leggings and my clothes won't be damaged. I'm dancing." Like, it's bear in mind, I still think
your
that,
room's
like,
fine.
My room's fine. It's just a small fire. So I went on and I went over. I'm walking through the kitchen and my auntie was like, "Where are you going, darling?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm going upstairs." And I was like, "The fire was only by the window, so my clothes are grand." And she goes, "Oh no, everything was burnt in your room, Niamh." And I was like, in my head I was like, "I have no clean knickers or anything. Like, I probably don't. When was the last time I did a wash?" So I was just kind of like, "Oh, okay." I had to go to dancing with my school uniform top on me and just this one lucky pair of leggings I had that were in the wash. And I walked in and I was like to everyone, my room went up on fire. And like, they didn't tell me until we came back, because by the time
So you still hadn't seen your room at this point?
No, I'd seen the room, but I didn't know what had happened, because like I'm very like OCD with flicking switches off, and like every single one of my friends will tell you, I will double triple check things. I'll make sure all doors are closed and everything.
Yeah, it wasn't like a straightener or something.
It wasn't a straightener. I knew nothing was plugged on, so I was like, "What the fuck was it?" Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I was like, something must have sparked. Maybe it was an electricity wire or something. But I didn't care because I knew I didn't cause it. Like, and also I was at school when it happened, so like there was nothing.
And was your room just like all black? Like,
it was literally like black. It was like, you know when you go to an abandoned house and it's just like black soot everywhere, and like there was no window. You know where my window is at the side of the thing? There was just a big hole in the thing. Like, everything was gone. And I was just like, what the fuck? And it just like, it looked so eerie. It looked like something you'd see in a horror movie. And the smell, it smelled like bonfire. Like, so I went to dancing and I smelled like bonfire. It was so bad. And I came back and I figured out after dancing like that, because I still went to dancing, by the way. This is how dedicated I am. Let's just make that note.
Whole entire room burnt down.
Yeah, and I went to dancing. And I came back and what's it called? They were saying that, you know those makeup mirrors, you have one side's reflected and one side's
and
not.
the zoomy one.
It's the zoomy side. So it was February, so we were still in winter.
Yeah.
It was the start of February. The winter sun is lower in the sky than a summer sun. So it had caught on to the mirror and it just like magnified onto the table and smoldered until it like literally started up a little flame. That little flame travelled along the table.
Because it's wooden.
Lit up with the deodorant cans, the perfume. Everything travelled up
exploded
travelled up my curtains all the way along the roof, right? Went everywhere in my room, savaged the room.
Thank God your parents were home, because it would have been the whole house.
So my mom was like cooking away in the kitchen and was like, was like, oh, there's a smell of burning. She like walked outside to see was it like the neighbour's house,
Yeah.
and it wasn't. So she walked back in because it's just a field next door, and then it was getting stronger and stronger. And she walked back out, and she was just like, that's so strong. So she turned over to look, was it the field over there? And she said it was like something you'd seen in a movie. I turned my head, and it was just then the flame broke out and pushed the window out, and it was going up the side of the house. And then
so your mom actually was like
traumatized. She rang the fire brigade and gave them a completely different address to the other side of town. She said we lived in Clean Woods or Clean Heights. And my dad rang and was like, where are you? The house is burning. They were like, we're up in this estate. She gave us this thing. We have the recording of her saying it. She said, I think I just blacked out. I was so scared.
Yeah.
So that had happened, and then it took me weeks to like for them to like redo my room. But the insurance people and the firefighters and everything said, if I hadn't switched everything off and I hadn't closed my doors, it would have actually gone into the whole house. And we have like fireproof doors for up to 3 hours, so it can withstand, it can contain a fire for 3 hours, and then after that it goes out. So it had stayed in the room and it was contained in the room, so it was only my room that burnt down. The rest of the house is fine.
And also then insurance wise, everything was covered.
Everything was covered because it was an accident. And did you know actually that fire is like this, the first leading cause of it is phone chargers, laptop chargers, just chargers in general. So I always make sure they're switched off. And number 2 is makeup mirrors. It's the second highest thing.
So it was like a magnified, because I knew it was a mirror, because at the time that was like
People
New
were
Burn's
saying,
room went on fire and the sun went on the mirror, and that's all I kind of knew.
Yeah, people were saying that I was smoking a cigarette and I left it down in my window. I was in school when it went
rumours
on fire. It was so bad. Even the teacher.
No, I remember hearing about the mirror.
I went into transition year and my teacher were like, "Oh, you're the girl who was smoking and set her room on fire." I was like, "Actually, no, it was a makeup mirror, sir."
Makeup mirror.
But yeah, that was so funny. I remember.
And you wouldn't even think about that, like mirrors in your room, like
you wouldn't. But
magnifying the sunlight and then burning your whole room down.
No, and it's crazy, but I think it's just because it was the magnified side. Although I'm a bit sketchy about having mirrors near the sun, so I've all mine placed in really
I think
random
of that
places.
now sometimes.
Yeah,
I think of you and
I think of you when I think of a mirror in the sun.
Traumatized, especially for like a 15-year-old girl.
Oh
like your room is like your
everything. But like I don't. Like now I have a lot of sentimental things, and I feel like that was the hardest thing for me because a lot of sentimental things burnt down. It wasn't like the clothes and everything and the thing, because they're all replaceable. It's like small things like that I had that I knew I wouldn't be able to get back because they were sentimental. But now I'm just like I don't hold a lot of things in material. Like, physical. I don't know how to say that.
You're like Kim after she was in Paris.
Yeah, I literally don't at all. So like I don't care like about that stuff, but it was just more like the sentimental things. Like, so now I was even saying, because I am at this point where I'm like, I'm going to be redoing my room, and I have this like they wouldn't let me put, also by the way, I think this is so funny, and they still don't. I'm 27. They wouldn't let me put a makeup mirror, like makeup table back by that window. I have no vanity in my room.
You need one by the window.
You need one by the window, but my parents were like tough titties. Like, you cannot have one.
This is not happening
So again. To like make it better, Dad said he'd make me like a little window seat for reading, and I was like, that's so cute. Yeah, but he didn't make it long enough. I can fit like about one arse cheek on it. Like, and it's so high up off the ground, so now I'm gonna redo it, but make the chair come out the whole way, so it's like a big cozy box area for me to read. But I don't know what I'm gonna do in terms of like a vanity, because like
if you just get a ring light,
yeah, I think I might get those lights in IKEA, you know, that go on the side.
Yeah, like the
they're like the strip.
The bulby things.
The bulby things, yeah. So I don't know, but we'll have to figure that out. But yeah, it was so funny. Like, well, it wasn't funny, like, but I just think like that would happen to me. Do you know what I mean?
But it's intense. Like your whole room burning down.
Yeah, the whole room burning down. Like, so I think now with fires, I'm kind of like, oh. But like, I'm actually quite good with other serious shit, like picking up the bunny yesterday.
Yeah.
I picked it up, like, not a bother. But if like you know the way fight or flight is a thing.
It's actually fight, flight, or freeze. There's actually three, and everyone always forgets freeze.
So my mom is a freezer. I know that. Because she says she's a flight, but she actually just freezes, I think.
Yeah, freeze.
So I know a lot of people that are freezers, but I am a fight. I'm so dumb. I literally black out and I go so irrational, and I will. If there's like something that'll happen, like I would be this sort of dumb person that would like run out and grab somebody and throw myself in front of a bus to save them, or stick my hand into a fire to pick up something that's valuable, or like I do stupid shit.
I don't know what I am.
Oh God, I wish I
think
wasn't.
I'm a freeze.
No, I'm a fighter. I wish I was a flighter. That's the best thing. Run.
My mom.
Run for your life.
My mom was on holidays with my auntie.
Yeah.
And they were all like staying in their friend's apartment in France, in the south of France. They were all there having a dinner. And next thing, my auntie starts banging on the table.
Choking.
So she was choking.
Oh my God.
On like steak or something.
Oh my God.
What does my mom do? Get up and run. Just run away. Just exit stage right. My mom like saw her and was like, and ran away.
That is so funny.
Like obviously there was more people at the table.
Of course,
She didn't
knew
just
somebody
leave her
was going to
there.
help.
But it wasn't my mom. My mom ran.
I'm out of here.
She both.
That's so funny. She just ran away. Oh my God, God bless her. But like, that's a fright though. When you get a fright like that, you don't need to do that.
I just run.
I'm out of here, sister. Sorry. Best of luck with that. That's so funny, like.
She just ran.
But then she came back and she's like, I'm so glad you're okay.
Everyone else can deal with this.
I'm so glad you're good. That's so funny.
She's like my sit. Like she was, I think in her head, she was trying to get help. But like, if someone sees a woman running frantically, they're not gonna be.
That she ran. God bless her.
She just ran.
I'm such a fighter, and I hope I can train myself out of that. Because why am I like that? What do you think?
I don't know. Like I feel like I'm good. I work very well under pressure. Like
yeah, you do. This is why I think you'd be a fighter.
To my detriment. Like as in if there's no pressure involved, I'm not doing it.
I'm lazy. I'm the same. I'm like I have to know that this is the certain thing, and then I'm like I'm stressed, but secretly I'm like I love this shit.
Like in my brain, Joe, that song. Yeah. That's what's going on in my brain.
I love it.
Like my YouTube video the last day was almost 2 hours long. I knew I was going to the Barbie movie.
Yeah, you did that so quickly, Rebecca.
So I put when I'm editing this and when I'm editing, I put it in 2 times speed because my brain, like, unless now, there's few people I've met in my life where 2 times speed, I can't understand what they're saying, but most people I can. So I put it all on 2 times speed, so it's half the amount of time to edit then.
And do you just hear it and be like, you hear a tiny thing and you're like, oh, that needs to go.
So I put it on 2 times speed and I just edit it like that.
Yeah.
I don't know how, I just pull it out and I can see, it's kind of hard to explain with editing. You can see where there's no one talking, so then I cut that and cut that. But so the last day, I knew I wanted to get my YouTube video up and I knew I was going to Barbie. And the Barbie movie was at 8, so my friend was collecting me at 7. And I wanted the YouTube video to be live before I went to Barbie.
Yeah.
So it had to like, so I put it on 2 times speed. So basically, at the end of the day, I need to get better at summarising stories. I'm not good.
It's just a voice note, I feel like. No, you were doing that story good.
So, long story short, I only gave myself an hour.
Yeah.
And I did it in 56 minutes. There was almost 2 hours of footage. The whole video edited.
That's so good.
Now, there's not any major crazy editing I do, because it's just a vlog. I don't think you need to...
Yeah, you don't need to put special effects
and
shit in
I just put like text in certain places, but I did the whole... And I loved that then, because I was like, I have this hour, and my brain could like hyper focus on it, and it was great. But if I know I have like 6 hours to do something, that in my brain I'm like, this will only take me...
And I feel that.
Like, why would I do it 6 hours before when I can do it an hour to crunch time?
Literally. And I feel like I got that from college. I used to study last minute. Like, I was only saying to Courtney last night, I was like, do you remember we used to like go out the whole year and then the week before cram the whole fucking whole syllabus in 1 week for like 6 subjects?
You see, I think I would have done the exact same had I actually not dropped out of college twice.
Yeah. So I know. You never know. You might, when you're older, you might. I don't think like you would need a college degree for anything, but I think that you will find something that you want to do, and when you're in your like 30s or 40s, you might just do one for the crack.
I'm like a research girly, so
this is why
once I can find the information on, but I feel like the internet's so good. Like, I'm not gonna want to become a doctor or
no, it's not even that. It's like, I think you're so curious, and the way that like you think, like
maybe like a shorter course, not like 4 years.
Not like 4 years. Yeah, no, you could do like a year or 2 course, but it's like, you know, the ones where like, you know, you're like learning something and it's like it makes you so curious and it's a different way of thinking. Like, you love that shit. Like
me with astrology.
Exactly, like you with astrology. And I think that like if you worked for it and then by the end of it you'd be like, oh my god, I did this, like, do you know what I mean? You'd love that.
I've never been a studier because all my life until I was about 15, I just listened in class. So
yeah, that's how you picked up the shit.
That's
like,
how
yeah.
I picked up. So I never had to study, and like
You just listened.
And everyone was like, "This girl," like my mom, like there was definitely such high expectations. Like this girl is a genius. Like
of course.
and I would like do nothing, barely do my homework.
Yeah.
Like every single excuse you can think of for not having your homework done,
Yeah.
I have used it. I've done homework before class. I have like, I think it used to annoy my teachers so much then as I got older because like. I was not doing anything, but I knew exactly what was going on.
That's so funny.
But then, obviously, when you get older, you don't pay attention in class because you're fucking texting or doodling or doing something.
The second
and that
those
was my
phones
detriment.
came in, we were fucked, really, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah. I think it was the phones.
And it was boys. Once we started paying attention,
See, there was no boys in my school.
Yeah, but the prez were very close to the green, so
That's true.
Yeah, on lunchtime you were busy like eyeing them up and shit. Like you had way better selection than we had in Mount Hawk. Like that's a fact. Mount Hawk was just like it was just such a horrible time of my life.
You see, I think I actually my year in school, we had like no issues. Do you know the way like people say all girls schools are like
bitchy.
toxic and this, that, and the other, whereas I didn't find that at all. Like with my year, and there were so many different groups, but like there was no issues like blending or
there wasn't
anything like that. So I actually really enjoyed going to an all-girls school, even though I didn't want to. I wanted to go to the mixed school.
Did you?
Yeah, because I wanted to do Spanish.
School.
You wanted to go to Prez?
I wanted to go to Prez because I was in an all-girls school.
And could you not get it in?
No, your mother had to be in there or something like all.
Yeah,
those
see, my
rules.
mom was.
No, my mom was in Bluenock and she went to Scalone Bluenock Secondary School.
Oh, and you had to like apply.
So if you were in Bluenock, it was a feeder school to Mount Hawk.
Yes.
And I was, because Bluenock used to have a secondary school, then Mount Hawk came along and it was Mount Hawk.
Yes.
So it was Holy Family and Bluenock were the feeder schools to.
Yes, so you automatically get in.
You'd automatically get in. So you could try with Prez, but the only thing that would stop you getting in from Prez is if your mom hadn't studied in Prez. Isn't that crazy? Like that was
mad.
Limitations on education for secondary schools. Like,
but it's so mad because I think like education wise, like your school was newer, so it had more options. Like there was no Spanish in my school.
I know.
There was no construction. There was no.
Yeah, you wouldn't have wanted to do construction.
I know, but like. Yeah,
we didn't have
we didn't have like shows like your school had like did shows in Sheemsa. Like I was in stage school, so it didn't matter.
Actually, do you know what's so funny?
Such a stage
Back to the fire thing is, I was around the junior cert time, right? And you're supposed to do this 3D art project, right?
I remember
and it was due when I hadn't done it, and just honestly just hadn't done it because I was too lazy and I was dancing on the weekends and stuff, whatever. I told them that it burnt down in the fire. I shouldn't be saying this out loud. So I said it. I was like, look, if I lost everything I own,
you might as well use it to your advantage.
I might as well. Like, I've just lost every single one of my belongings. I'm walking around the school smelling like a bonfire. I do not have a fucking inch of clothing to my name. I don't have a knicker to my name. I'm literally like, if I don't have a pair of knickers, like if I don't have more than one, do you not think that I'm gonna go in here and just say, like, our project burnt down?
I would have definitely done the same.
I got a special exemption from the Department of Education and I still left it till 2 days before it was due, and it was shit. I got a C in it.
Oh, you still had to do it?
Yeah, I had to do it, but I got longer than everyone else, but I left it last minute again.
I didn't do it. I did a Rose of Tralee float.
Yeah.
I did a whole float, a whole 3D float. I thought it was great. No, it wasn't great.
Connor did this class, like, lava, like, rock thing, because he was in Lanzarote gift shop and he bought loads of them, and then he stuck it all down to the thing and made this lava thing, and it was so good. I did this X Factor thing out of a shoebox and just threw a load of glitter on stage and printed off the X Factor thing on the thing and made clay people stand on top of it, and it was so bad. It was so bad. I was actually embarrassed bringing it into school. Like, everyone was like, that's so shit, and it was shit, and I got marked badly for it as well.
What else? What other excuses? What else did you
I lied
benefit?
I lied and said that my French book burnt in the fire, so that's why I didn't do my French homework. And I had to get another one, but it was actually really hard to get, but I actually had the book all along. So I just waited like 2 or 3 weeks. I was like, it's actually really hard to get, miss, whatever. And then I came back and I was like, got one.
I was so bad. I never had, for my whole Irish, like, we were reading a book, you know, the way you read a storybook, like.
Yeah, oh my God, do you remember?
That's the one, what was it? The Irish story about the girl who got with the older guy.
Yeah, what the fuck? That was so fucked.
It was messed up. Like, thank God it wasn't Irish.
I know.
But
it was fucked up.
What was it
Do you remember the
called?
Shrap Picture? And it was like the story of your man who went, I'll never forget, and he went to the Chinese and ordered this Chinese takeaway. And he got curry and chicken chop suey. And like we had to learn this all in Irish.
This is refreshing my brain, yeah.
And he came out and he got shot outside the Chinese after he went to the pub. Sorry, what the fuck? And then let's not even bring Cork and Millish into it. They were trying to traumatise us in Irish. You wouldn't get away with that shit in English, like.
What was the Irish story? Anyway, I never had the book. The whole year, I never had the book. I'd say my teacher was like,
do you have it?
How? I never had the book.
Funny.
I never had the book.
So funny.
I shared every single class. I still probably did well in my exam, like.
You definitely did.
Like, I'd say she was like, how is this girl? Like, I just did not have the book.
Yeah.
And just didn't, like, my parents would have it's not like I didn't have the book because I just didn't have the book.
It's so funny. It was
the
actually
whole
traumatizing.
Year?
I remember when they watched us.
Maybe it was my energy being like, girl, you do not need that energy.
I remember they made us learn about, do you remember the Cork and Millish, the movie?
Yeah. Traumatizing. That was worse than Joe and Matilda when your man eats the cake.
Yeah.
That kind of turns my stomach a bit.
I know, yeah.
And I think that's kind of the same vibe.
I just think it's so fucked up. And it was so funny. Did you see what movie did they do? Was it I don't know, were they here for the IFTAs because of the Banshees of Inisherin? And someone asked what's that actor's name? He's fantastic. He was in Banshees of Inisherin with Colin Farrell. He's a fella who was in Cork and Millish anyway.
Really?
Yeah, and they were like, when's Cork and Millish 2? And he said, get the cake and we'll do it. It was so funny. Something Gleeson. Brendan Gleeson.
Donal.
Or is it Donal Gleeson?
I've no idea.
I think it's Brendan Gleeson.
You're probably right. I'm probably wrong.
Yeah, he was like, get me the cake and we'll do it, which I thought was so funny. I was like, that is so gas. Like, but they traumatised us inside school.
Yeah, no, I genuinely was concerned with that story.
So
I can't remember what it was, but
like
that
the
Irish
book. And the one who came in after a night out and she put on a frozen pizza and went to bed and the whole house went up on fire.
That definitely triggered you a little bit.
I was like, sorry, PTSD, can I pick another one? Like, you know, when you're doing the Irish oral and you're like, can I do another one?
Can I not get this?
It's so funny when I look back at those things because I'm like, even with the leaving cert, like I remember we came out and
it's so serious at the time.
It's so serious.
And looking back, like even if you never, like obviously education is so important, and I'm not saying it's not important. Even if you never do it, like there's so many lanes and avenues that you can go into. Like what you do in an exam at 18,
it does not define you for the rest of your life by any
way, shape or form.
Yeah.
In any way, shape or form.
Lads, it was so funny though.
And it was so serious. And they make you think it's so serious.
Yeah,
and it's not.
I came out, my home ec teacher was like, what did you write down for the perfect meal or something? And I was like, okay, I wrote down this and I had a perfect amount of protein, fats, carbs. I thought that was a perfect meal because you're doing all the food things you need. And she goes, Niamh, it was the easiest question. It was lysine and leucine beans on toast. And I remember I just looked at her and I was like, I can't even deal with this, and I just walked away from her. I was so stressed out, like. But you know that they've actually scrapped, like, for a lot of courses, like obviously for medicine and stuff now you'll need points to get in, but for a lot of degree courses now they just do like interview basis now to see why you want to do it.
I would have slayed any interview for. I just
genuinely feel like this is my vibe, like.
I'm so good at interviews because I just tell the people what they want to hear. I'm like, okay, if I was interviewing for this job, what would I want?
You're like, I'm going to tell you right now, my Venus is in Taurus or whatever, or what is it, and that I'm prone to the finer things in life. So I think if I did this course, I'd help you also realize your astrology thing.
See, you think that's how I'd be, but really, I'm the type of person. I told someone in an interview once that my goal, like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Owning a branch of this, like owning what is it? Like I was going for a retail shop job, to work in a gas station, and I told them I saw myself working all the way up and opening my own franchise.
I don't know why they asked you where do you see yourself in 5 years. I'd never ask anyone that if I was hiring them.
Yeah, but that's exactly what they want because they're like, this girl's going nowhere. Got the job, didn't even take it.
Yeah. Didn't even take it. I don't even want this job because
I got a different job. I think I got waitressing, but I was in my interview. I'm so good at interviews, and I'd be getting jobs that I didn't even want.
But I feel like you're so personable that you'd be good. Do you know what I mean?
And if you wear red lipstick as well to an interview, you're perceived as more confident.
Really? Really?
Yeah, and you're more likely to get hired.
I always have my hair in a ponytail because they say if you put your hair back in an interview,
you're less likely to mess with it.
No, apparently something you look a lot better, but it's so funny because then
this is all women things, which we're getting into soon in a minute.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why they did that. I did it for my driving test as well because they said if you like look for the mirrors, like when you're turning dramatically, like to look at your mirrors, he'll cop you're doing it because your ponytail will be flicking. And I did it, and I passed my driver's test.
You know what? If it works,
look, tried and tested.
No.
Like
we're not gonna say no. Speaking of
women.
We saw the Barbie movie, not together, but we saw it on separate occasions over the weekend.
So good.
I've so many thoughts. I think the more you digest it.
Yeah.
And also my whole entire TikTok FYP has been the Billie Eilish song with like people talking about the movie and like different themes and tones in the movie.
There were so many different things, and I feel like everyone left that movie and took a different message away from it.
My God, it was so good.
I think they finally balanced, you know, having like very serious issues, like, you know, conveying them, but also having tongue-in-cheek comedy around it.
And I think it, at the end of the day, it had to be marketed as palatable.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
So I think like so many different tones and undertones in the characters, like in the way I saw. There's going to be a lot of spoilers now, so if you haven't seen it, I'll put a timestamp where you can fast forward to after, like once we finish talking about Barbie.
Let this be your warning now. Stop watching it if you haven't. Skip forward.
We're warning you.
Yeah,
we're warning you. There will be spoilers. Don't blame us. It's not our fault. You didn't listen.
But
what was I saying? So do you know how in Barbie world, when it was Barbie world that wasn't a patriarchy, like when it was regular Barbie world, the men weren't like enslaved, they weren't mean to the men, it just, the men weren't the main characters. No, the men were like the side characters.
Yeah, the girls were just so focused on the girls.
The girls were focused on themselves, they weren't focused on the men. Yeah. Whereas when Ken turned it into Kendom, when Ken turned it into Kendom, the girls were serving beers. Like they, like, it did such a good job of showing like how women don't want to turn men into slaves, or women don't want, you know, to reverse the patriarchy so that it's women get what men have now and men get what women have. They just want to live life, breathe air. They don't want, and it was such a stark contrast between like when it was Barbie world
versus when it was Kingdom
versus when it was Kingdom.
Yeah, it was mad. I think for me, like I was really like, there was so many parts where I was kind of like, oh, like, do you know, watching it, like it kind of made you feel a bit uncomfortable because you're like, you know that this isn't right when you're watching it. But one thing that really struck home for me is, you know, when they go into, I think it's like Mattel or whatever, they're in these offices, and you know, this woman goes up to talk to these three like businessmen, and they go like this to her, and she stands back. I've actually experienced that. So for me, seeing that, I was like, this is so fucked because it's so true.
And there was so many little things like that.
So many little, just like, you know, flyaway things, and like, you know, I think it was perfect because like, you know, when Ken said that I want a high level paying job or whatever, and he's like, well, you're going to need an MBA or whatever and all of this. And he's like, oh, you're not doing patriarchy very well. And he was like, no, we do. We just hide it better. I was like, that's perfect, because what they always try fight this thing in business with women is they're not as educated, or you know, they don't have that much experience, or they took some time off for maternity and stuff, and you know, there's always an excuse to keep women locked out of high paying, high position roles. Like, and I think it was reflected as well when you look at like the top table with Will Ferrell in them. There was not one woman on the executive board. Do you know what I mean?
And when America Ferrera's character suggested the normal Barbie, and Will was like, no, and then when one of the men was like, no, that's a good idea, then he was like, okay, that's like that. I like, you experience that so much when you put out ideas, and it's like a man says the same idea, and it's like, oh yeah, that's a good idea.
It's just so crazy because it's like, you know, I think in life anyway, we know that like women don't kind of have the same like they don't receive the same treatment, but I think particularly in like the business world, like I think that was so mad to see that they were doing that, because you know there's research that suggests that like, you know, more women leaders at the top executive board, even by 30%, like if it's 70% men 30% women, like they're less likely to run into financial hardship. And it's like, you know, having that kind of balance of women and stuff, it's not like women want to say men need to go and like go completely and we want these jobs. It's like we just want a chance to also have it, you know what I mean, kind of a thing.
It's just the movie just did such a good job at like, you know, all this anyway. Like I think a lot of women who are going to Barbie are well aware of what is wrong with the world and what is wrong, but it's just like when you see it you're like, shit, like,
yeah, it's like, what the hell, like, it's so mad. But you know, one thing it did for me, I think, as well, when I was watching it, was like, it actually made me feel so fine with not knowing what I want to do with my life.
Yes.
Like I don't know what I want to, what my next steps are. Like, you know, I don't know what's next. And whenever somebody asks, it's all like you said before, that question people always ask you, or like when people ask you, are you going back to Australia or what are you doing? You're always like, I actually don't know what I'm doing at the moment.
And people can't
grasp that you don't know.
And that, like, because I think most people pretend they have a plan.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're so comfortable being like, do you know what, I don't, and especially I think summertime when you're meeting people you haven't met, or for us, the Rose of Tralee.
The Rose of Tralee, and
you
people
meet
are coming home
so many people and they're like, what are you doing now?
Yeah, and what do you do now? Where are you going next? Or are you going to travel again if you have travelled? Like,
or are you settled now? And it's like, I came back from Australia and people are like, are you home for good now? And I'm like, I just got here.
Yeah, literally. I do not know. And I think like even when Barbie was like, oh, I don't know what I want, but I just want to feel and stuff, and I feel like that's good enough, like, to know that, like, you know, you don't have to have it figured out what you're doing next. You don't have to know that in 5 years time I want to do this or I want to do that. I haven't a fucking clue what I'm doing next month, not to mind for the next few years. And I feel like that gave like women the space to like breathe and be like, there's so much pressure put on your shoulders between, like she was saying in the thing about looking great and like ask questions but not too much and don't be this and don't
that
be that.
Monologue
was fantastic.
I want to share it but I don't want
to spoil it,
to do it, so I have it actually saved. I have the video saved on my phone. I'm going to share it in a few weeks. But I the New York Times posted the whole thing, monologue in text. And I actually put the end of it in a photo dump yesterday.
It's so
good. But and I think also, I thought this earlier, do you know the way America Ferrera played Ugly Betty?
I know, yeah.
And like, there's so many different things that Greta did that were like a nod to
other things,
something else, or a nod to other things. Like the montage at the end was, because she wanted to do, Greta, I saw this interview yesterday, she wanted to put at the end a film by and put everyone, because she didn't want just her name. That's like
so nice.
So she wanted to put, she was told she wasn't allowed to do that. So do you know the montage at the end when Billie Eilish is song on, it's all these women, they're all, she asked the cast, the crew, everyone involved in the movie videos, to send in any videos.
So nice. I saw that some people were sending in videos of their friends and stuff, and I was like, that's so cute.
Like, the movie, I actually want to watch it again.
It's so good. I left it and I was like, and I'm so glad, because I went with my mom, and like when I was sitting there I was just like, oh my god, like they said some line about something like, mothers stand still to see how far their daughters go,
step back to let their daughters see how far they've come.
And it's like when that happened, when they said that, I was like, god, I love my mom so much. Like, me and my mom are so close anyway, but I was like, oh my god, I'm so glad I'm with my mom in the cinema to see this. And like, I was just like, it was such a good movie, but it was so funny as well. Like,
it was so,
I don't know how they balanced it being so serious,
it was
being
so
funny
hilarious. And so tongue-in-cheek,
like Ken's song, I'm just Ken. Apparently there's so many streams on that as well already.
And I think Ryan Gosling did a like stunning job. And you know what, also
a sequel has been confirmed. You know that they're going to do a second movie, because it smashed so their budget
smashed so many records.
It was, the budget was 145 million, and in the first weekend they made 150 million US dollars. That's not including the whole world.
Isn't
that crazy?
And it was the biggest domestic opening of 2023.
Yeah, so good.
The biggest opening ever for a female director. The biggest opening for a movie based on a toy. So Toy Story, it smashed all of those. Biggest opening ever for Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling, which is huge, because she was in
Wolf of Wall Street.
So biggest opening weekend for a movie that isn't a sequel, remake, or a superhero movie. So that was like, it smashed so many records, and I'm just so excited. But then, on another thing, I have this saved. The movie critics that are men that are giving
they're
1
so
star
bad.
reviews.
I saw it. You see, I saw that where people made it into the thing.
Someone took 1 star reviews of Barbie from furious men on Letterboxd and put them on the posters because it makes the film seem even cooler. So I'm going to read them out now. Barbie, the feminist agenda will kill us all. Listen to this one. Barbie, a pink acid trip that feels like being slapped by lots of confusingly attractive people.
True.
Barbie, they won't be happy until we are all gay.
Yeah, true.
Barbie, an alienating, dangerous and perverse film. As if most other films made by men for men aren't alienating, dangerous and perverse.
Sorry, it's so funny that also the Alan character in it, he wasn't gay and everyone loved him in it. Alan, he was gas. Yes. He just wanted to not deal with Ken and the gang.
Alan was, I think, I've seen a lot of gay people say on TikTok that he represented really how they felt growing up, because it's like, you're not feminine enough to be with the girls, but you're not manly enough. You're not manly enough. And I think the overall theme of it was like, the patriarchy harms everyone, because Ken wasn't happy.
No, he wasn't.
And Barbie had to make him feel... After Ken did all that, Barbie still
had to make him feel
to comfort him. And that scene was so good.
Yeah, I was laughing.
And then he tried to kiss her, which is like... That's what men confuse women doing all the time when they're trying to make you feel like, I'm not flirting with you, I'm just being nice.
It was so funny when he was like, I didn't really care about patriarchy when I found out it wasn't about horses anyway. I was like, that's so funny.
Because Greta said it, that there's so many horses in these old things. And like... that so he funny. Just confused it that the horses were in charge.
Yeah, and like when you drive past the mountain and there's just horses in it, I'm like, that's so funny. Like, it was so good.
It was such a good movie. And honestly, I saw actually as well people saying on TikTok to like take your man to Barbie.
Yeah, and see what their reaction is.
And see how they react. Because like if you're dating someone or if you've gone on a few dates or if you have a boyfriend, like, do they get it?
Oh my god, I only thought the last day...
I would love to do that, but I don't have boyfriends.
I was going to say, I only thought the last day, if I ever do get a boyfriend, I'm literally forcing him to come to the cinema with me every weekend because I loved it so much. It was so much fun.
I know, in one of my relationships, there used to be this thing called Fiver Tuesdays, and every Tuesday, the cinema... Now, this was back a lot of years ago, it's not €5. Every Tuesday... Yeah. The cinema was €5. We saw so many because I don't really watch movies alone. Yeah, I think it's a real relationship.
It is a real relationship.
Like, I know you can watch movies alone.
I like watching rom-coms and stuff on my own.
Yeah, same.
Me and Mom actually came home and had a glass of wine and watched Mamma Mia afterwards, and that was so good. We were just singing our lungs out of it. It was so good.
On a first date, a guy actually before took me to Les Mis, and I was green flag.
That is such a good thing. Like, you know, when they do something like that, or they take you to like a musical, or they take you to like an art exhibition or something, and it's like, it's not drinks. Like when boys actually do dates where it's like, it's not drink involved, or like there can be drinks, but like at the start, like, so you can just figure out if you like each other.
Yeah, he took me to Les Mis when it was in cinema.
Oh my god, I love that.
Yeah, and he was like very into it.
Oh my god,
it was
I love
fun.
That.
Yeah.
See, now I'm not a musical girly, so I'd be like, hasta luego.
But Les Mis, the movie, have you seen the movie adaptation?
It's I have. Yeah, it's not the same. Like, it's not, but it is brilliant.
Anne Hathaway.
It's my now, mind you, I've only
Les Mis is your
two favourite musicals, and Les Mis and Phantom of the Opera are my two favourites.
They're great favourites.
I know, I love them. I love them. So
I am a musical girl. I love a good musical.
Yeah, you do. You're a theatre girly. You're stagey, as my friend Dave would say. So you're stagey.
I'm stagey. I'm not like. I think. See, the thing about me is I have so many different, like, I'm not musical theatre girly and that's all I am. Do you know what I mean?
But humans are multifaceted anyway. It wouldn't be just one thing, do you know what I mean?
But do you know the way some people are like hardcore?
Yeah, that's so mad. Yeah, some people are so hardcore, like.
Whereas I don't think I'm a hardcore anything.
I don't think
I think it depends on
I'm a hardcore napper and reading, and that's what I do.
Actually, speaking of reading.
Yeah, you read your first fiction book in years.
In years. I didn't, this is
It's not her first ever.
I was a big fiction girly when I was younger.
I'm so proud of you. Like, I knew, it's like watching a movie in your mind. It's better because you create the faces of the characters. I created.
So it is called Happy Place by Emily Henry. Now you can only get at the moment. It's very hard to find a paperback.
Yeah.
Not till 2024 because it's new.
Yeah.
So you can only get hardback.
That's crazy.
Which I prefer paperback.
Yeah. So you can bend the spine.
So you can like, you know, have fun with it. But I loved the storyline. I related to a lot of like the main character, the way she like the issues and the problems and everything like that. I don't want to do spoilers, but I was reading it yesterday morning and I was like, I think I had like 100 pages left and I was like, no, I'll save it till tomorrow evening.
Oh my God, I love it. Isn't it such a luxury sitting down, your music
sitting
playing
down,
in the background,
Taylor Swift on repeat,
candles on.
I had it on the TV like a oh my God, it was
cozy.
Like a sunset with a bonfire.
Like when you make that's such a good space
candles.
to be in. Like nobody knows the luxury in that shit. Like I'd be sitting down, I'd be reading, I'd have the whole place cozy, candles lighting, I'd have like nice little like, you know, those Hertz music playing in the background, and I'd be like thing. And sometimes if there's a playlist with the book, I don't know if they did it with this book, you open on the inside of the page, they give a playlist of songs.
Oh my God.
I normally like put those songs in a playlist and put it on the TV, so when I'm reading, that's the theme of the book.
I was just relating it to Taylor Swift.
Yeah, well, Taylor Swift goes with everything.
And I think because it's romance as well.
Yeah.
But then I ordered, what's the next book I ordered? I finished yesterday and I ordered
if you had been
another
with me, I read it already. You're going to cry.
I told Neve, she was like, oh no.
Because at the start I was like, I don't know if I like this, I don't know if I like this. And then by the end of it I was like, it was actually quite good.
I ordered that. It's coming tomorrow. So I've definitely... I think it just gives my brain so much more of a break than
because you were on
non-fiction
the screen all the time.
And non-fiction.
Yeah, but this is the thing. I feel like with non-fiction you're learning, so your brain doesn't stop. But when you're reading fiction, it's actually a break because you're imagining, and that's a completely different part of your brain. You know, when you creatively imagine, that's still using your working side of the brain. This is like the back of your brain, you're creating this in your thing, you're
creating like a movie,
and you're actually allowing your brain and your body to relax when you read fiction.
Yes, and I think that's why I liked the Brian Weiss, the hypnotherapist book, because it is non-fiction, but he's telling stories about people and their life, and he's bringing them back, so technically that's a story.
That's still a fiction. Although it's non-fiction, it is storytelling. I
feel like that was like my good transition from like non-fiction, and then I did those, and now that book didn't break my heart because it does have like a happy I don't want to spoil, but it does have like, it doesn't have a sad ending.
Yeah.
So I feel like it was okay, but I feel like this next book I'm terrified for.
Yeah, you will cry at it. She wrote a second book that I haven't read yet, and it's if only I told her is the second book. Yeah.
No, so it's from the
guy's
other perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when you're reading a book, obviously it's from like one person's.
Yeah. Well, it depends on the book. Sometimes when you're reading a book, one chapter will be the woman's perspective, or the female male protagonist. Like the first one will be like, say, Emily, or in the second one will be like Ken or whatever. Yeah. Like, do you know what I mean? That's the way it works. So,
whereas this book, it went from like present day back. So it went.
There's
back
time hops. Yeah.
There's time hops.
Sometimes I think time hops throw me fucking off in a book, unless they're in italics and I know
they're
it's
in different. Yeah, they did that. So the texts were one font, and then like all the things, but then also the time hops were chapters. So you knew at the start of a chapter
it was a time
whether
hop
it was present day or whether it was so it wasn't too bad. Now sometimes I don't really read the chapter page, like the top thing, because I'm definitely a speed reader. Like so many times I had to go back because I was
read so quickly,
because I think with non-fiction you can speed read a lot more.
Yeah, I think I read so fast, but I know what's going on in it. Yeah, which is the thing. But yeah, I love it so much. I'm so glad you're in your fiction girly. Yeah.
I'm excited to be in my fiction, and especially I think this weekend with that new book, because I'm due my period. Yes. Right, there's a lot going on with me this weekend now.
Yeah.
We've talked about it already, but I just want to talk about it on the pod because anyone might relate to this.
And it's actually going to be this weekend because it's in time.
And it's actually real time. So I'm currently PMSing. My period is due Friday. Oh my God, actually we're synced. We use a period tracking app. So I tracked my period on this app called Stardust, and it tracks it with the moon. And now you've also started using it.
I have, because you told me to use it, because I used to track my periods, then I got the IUD in, and then my period, I didn't have a period for 6 months. I kind of came back, but not really now that the kidney infection's gone. I think the kidney infection brought it back. And now they're kind of gone again. I only had it for a day and it was gone. So
but you're tracking it now, so you can kind of follow along something.
Something, yeah. I'll know
Some
roughly
form
when
of-
it should.
Whereas I'm not on anything, so mine's like a
it's
real
bang on,
a
like,
real deal period.
Yeah.
I have the real
Ooh.
deal.
You've got all the emotions.
I haven't been on. No. When I'm on any form
a contraception
of
year.
contraception,
Yeah. I'm crazy.
it does something to my like all my teen years. I was on contraception, and looking back, I was on the strongest one for my skin. They don't even sell it in Ireland anymore. Dinette.
Yeah. Oh, I was on Dinette.
Oh, that's the worst one.
Yeah, I know that.
They don't.
It gave me non-stop headaches. I had to come off it.
Yeah, I got
so
such
bad.
bad migraines.
So bad. I am
so bad.
The pill drives me crazy.
Yeah,
like,
same.
Crazy. Any form of the pill, any hormone that I have to ingest, really bad. But the IUD is intrauterine hormone release, so it doesn't leave your uterus. The hormones are all localized to your uterus. So I'm actually all good here. It's all going on down there.
Mentally, I'm okay. Down there, don't know what's...
Yeah, down there, she's just dormant. So, like, the hormones are just keeping the period at bay.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Tracking the app, but why we're talking about the app tracker is because I can see... Now, last time my period did come 2 weeks early, so this actually might not...
No, it will.
...be too accurate, but allegedly, I am
get it on a
due
full moon.
my period on Saturday, which would mean my brother's home from Australia on Thursday.
Yeah.
We're all going out to have family time in my parents' mobile home
Stunning.
this weekend.
Stunning.
Me, my brother, my brother's girlfriend, my mom, my dad, which is so exciting. I'm so excited. I'm so happy. Not on my period, though.
Not on your period, I know.
Not day 1 and day 2. Like,
I
what?
know.
Do you know what? I'm going to manifest. It's going to come tomorrow.
Yeah,
Because-
hopefully, because the hard part of it will be out of the way by the time.
Because, like, I need, like, when I have my period, like, I need to be alone. I have to sleep so much more. I'm so much more tired. I need so much more alone time. I have a lot of alone time anyway, but I need extra.
I'm like that when I get my period too. Yeah.
And, like, I just like to be solo.
Yeah, I feel that's.
But, like, this weekend, like, it's my brother's birthday. The All-Ireland final is on. We're going to be...
Go on, Kerry! Kerry for Sam! Woohoo!
Woo!
I hope they win.
They will win. I don't really follow football, but I do. And I'm not going to say I don't enjoy watching the finals.
I'm a fair weather player. I join in around the semi-finals.
Do you know what? Yeah, because the
that's all I do.
atmosphere. Like, if there's a party, if there's a celebration, I am first one there. First one
Or
celebrating.
I pay attention if if Kerry are playing a county that my friends are from. Like, so we played
yes,
Tyrone, I think.
Okay.
I think.
Potentially.
And my friends, and we played Derry, are from up there, so it's so funny.
Yeah.
It's like something like, way.
We won, you lost.
So funny. But yeah,
But
that's an exciting weekend.
it is an exciting weekend. It's just the period situation.
I know,
Like,
know.
it's...
That's a bit much to deal with.
So...
So, I feel you, sister.
Yeah. But once I get my period and once day 1 and day 2 are over, I'm a happy girl.
Yeah.
And remember last time when I was in Dublin? That
Oh my
was...
God, yeah. And then you got the...
Oh,
I feel like your lips swollen more because you were on your period, and it hurts more getting it done because you're on your period.
But you know what? I kind of miss the swollen lips though.
Yeah, I'm pushing to get mine done again.
I can see
I can't wait.
why people... Because I think the lip filler, the swelling after the lip filler kind of gaslights you a little bit.
And it makes you think that, like, you've really fluffy lips, but it's actually just the swelling.
It's just the swelling,
down.
and then the swelling goes down. And, like, I still like my lips. I still think they're a lot.
I'm overlining mine so much to make them look bigger that I was like, I just have to poke back in and get them done again. Like, there's nothing, I can't go around it.
And then it's the swelling, and then you're kind of like, oh, do I like the swelling? And then you get used to the swelling, and then the swelling's gone.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh.
My body breaks filler down so quickly, though, is the only thing.
See, I don't know, does mine
Apparently
or not?
that's a sign, like, of, like, being really healthy, but I don't believe it because I've been so sick that I don't believe it. But apparently it's
Allegedly.
I break filler down so quickly is the only thing.
I thought that's what happened my first time, but I don't know what happened.
First time is always, it's just the swelling, and then it goes down and you get it done again, and then they last, like, because I got mine done and then I got them redone in March. And I was sorted then until, like, now July. I'm getting them done in August, so March, April, May, June, July, August, 5 months in between. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's supposed to be like once a year, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, but, like, with the rate I break them down, and I don't get that much in when I get them done.
Oh, okay.
I only get like 0.5. Like, I don't get
yeah,
like a mil or
I
anything.
think I got 0.5.
Yeah, I got 0.5 the first time, and it literally just made the shape of my lips. It didn't like fill them.
So that's like me now.
Yeah, that's like you. It's getting your lips ready to get that shape for when you get that.
Because they feel a lot drier now.
Yeah, well, your lips will feel like that.
Because your skin stretches.
Yeah, it does. Your lips will feel like that when you fill in them.
They feel a lot dry. Like I'm constantly with the gloss anyway, but now I'm even more.
Yeah.
Because if my lips feel dry, I can't believe we did matte lips. Like I can't believe
I used to put foundation over my lips, you know.
Yeah.
Do you remember, like, when we were younger, like, I had no lip. I used to put, like, foundation over my lips because that was the thing. Do you remember the Dream Matte Mousse?
Yeah.
That
Dream Matte Mousse.
That was me with the foundation over
like,
my
literally
lips.
over your lips.
Yeah, that was it. I used
like,
to put
whereas
it over my
now,
lips.
even if matte lips become a trend, like, no gloss.
I loved
till
matte lip. And the Kylie Jenner lip kits I was getting and everything, they were so drying on your lips.
I got the first ever. It was
Imagine
like Dolce K, Candy K. I remember I ordered. Oh my God, that was such a moment.
Kissing me when I had them was probably like fucking kissing, I don't know what. Like sandpaper, because they made your lips so dry.
They made your lips so
They
dry.
wouldn't budge though.
They would. The Kylie lip kits.
So good.
And even still,
they're quite good.
The Kylie, like the red, especially if you want a red that's going to last, that's not going to budge. The Kylie lip kits are so good.
Yeah,
but, like,
yeah.
I put a gloss over them now.
Yeah, true.
Like
do
they
budge with gloss or no?
Not really. Like recently I wore the Giorgio Armani, can't remember what it's called, but it's the Giorgio Armani red lip. Mm-hmm. And I had that and I did gloss and like I went out for dinner like
and it was fine.
It was perfect.
I'd love to pop a red lip, but I feel like it would be so. I only do
a red lip
would
suit you so much though.
Do you think?
With the blonde hair and the blue eyes and a red lip.
You know, the color red doesn't actually suit me. It's so funny because everyone's like, blonde hair people, it does. Blue suits me so much nicer. I don't know, is it my skin tone? Red doesn't suit me. Like,
maybe it's the shade. You have to go with a red with a blue undertone though.
Okay.
There's loads. See, when it comes to red, there's like orangey reds.
Orangey reds and then
pinky reds.
Then there's deep. Do you know
pinky reds, purpley reds, but a blue red is.
Do you know what's really nice on me? A deep blood red.
Yeah, that's like a blue red.
Oh, that's a blue red.
That's a blue red. Because the blue red, especially even with lipstick, is going to make your teeth look whiter. It's the blue, whereas an orangey red. Because everyone's like, oh no, I could never do a red lip. I'd love to do a red. They don't suit me. It's like, no, it's obviously it's going to look different because it's red.
Red, it's different.
But like, there's nothing more powerful than a red lip.
Yeah, there's not. Oh, it's so funny. My brother's girlfriend always says like she'll have an outfit and she's like, and tie it all together with a red lip. She loves a red lip. Oh. Yeah, she's stunning.
A red lip is gorge.
We love a red lip, yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
What's your plan for the weekend? I feel like weird because we're recording this on a Tuesday
and
it's for tomorrow.
On a weekend. It's so funny.
Do we have any other real life updates? What else is going on in your world?
Mine's just the nails. I'm coming home and my brother's actually also home this weekend.
Gorge.
I'm not going to see him though because he's going on a booze cruise with the boys. It's called a shit shirt thing they do. They all wear shit shirts.
Oh, yes.
So he's doing that on Saturday. He's probably going to be hungover Sunday, and I think I'm going to see the match with my friends, and he's going to go with mum and dad to the pub to see it, so that'll be fun. So I think I'm just going to read books again. I might actually just renew my gym membership and go to the gym as well.
What, are you going to go to the gym you were going to? Or are you going to
I'm going to go again, although I feel like that gym I was going to had gotten so filthy because like a certain manager had left and like the upkeep of the gym just went downhill. But I'm just going to go and renew it because I do need to get back into the gym, and also I'm finally feeling better after about 6 weeks of Sharkeisha.
Can you tell the podcast who Sharkeisha is?
So basically, guys, I had this really bad kidney infection, right? But like, it was so bad to the point that like when the doctor was like touching my tummy, I was like, whoa, like I was actually in so much pain. So I'm actually waiting on a scan for my kidneys. But I convinced myself that I had like a cyst or something.
Nia was Googling.
I was Googling.
You don't
never do that.
You don't Google symptoms.
But I was so sick that I had to give a name to what it was because I was so ill, guys. Like I literally had no energy. When we were recording this, I couldn't bend down to turn on things and turn them off. I was in so much pain. Like even the one in the grey episode when I was like wrap it up, I was like, my kidney's killing me. It was because I couldn't sit for too long without being
we have to
agony.
Stop podcasting.
I was like, I can't. We have to do this really quickly because I was in so much pain. But I was just on it. I kept getting these antibiotics that weren't working on me, and it was just because I had a really, really bad kidney infection, so I obviously needed loads of rounds of them. But I think it's worked now. We just have to hope to God. I'm still waiting on my scan, but the kidney infection is no more, and I have energy back, which I had no energy. I was like sleeping all day.
You were very energetic today, actually.
I know, the difference in me is crazy.
The difference in you is crazy because usually by now you would have cut the podcast off by now.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
Whereas it's going to be like 2 hours.
I know, good luck to you editing that. She said, I can edit it really quickly, and it's like 2 hours long now.
I can edit really quickly. I've been doing this for free for so many years.
Yeah, so true.
When you do something and it's just talent.
Just love it.
I'm just so
You're
talented.
just so talented.
I am
queen.
just.
What's your plans for the rest of the day other than editing this?
I'm not gonna. Oh, I am gonna edit. Oh yeah.
You're like, I'm not gonna edit it today. I was like, this needs to go out tomorrow.
This is tomorrow's episode.
You're so
I was like,
funny.
girl, I'm not going home and working. What are you
so
talking about?
Fucking funny. Well, no, take a break. Go lie down for an hour or something.
Oh no, I'm not. I'd lie down, nap girl. Like
no, lie down, scroll on your phone. Like.
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah.
Little luxury, like just.
Do you know what? Actually, I'm gonna go grocery shopping. On my way home. I'm not gonna go straight. I'm gonna get dropped into town and go grocery shopping.
Okay.
Do a little grocery shop because there is nothing in. I keep letting it get to this point. I'm out of protein powder, which is even worse.
Oh my
again.
god, that's the most annoying. You know when your protein runs out, I find like
I'm so specific with protein as
so
well.
am I, and I feel like it all runs out at the same fucking time, and it's like my protein, like things I need to take, like supplements, they all go around the same time.
Yeah,
and I'm like, why? Like, and my food runs out. It all goes the same time.
It all runs out, so I have to do a grocery shop. Then I'll go home and maybe actually make a nice lunch.
Yeah, I do.
And then edit this pod. Oh my god, so this episode's going out tomorrow. We never do this.
We never do this. Well done, guys.
And then I'll be expecting my period for the rest of the week. Yeah. And
thank God this episode went a lot better than the other episode. You're gonna have to cut a lot from the other one. This one, I'm like, I don't think there's anything in this.
We really didn't expose ourselves.
No,
you know what? Sometimes we have stories, and then other times life is chill.
Do you know what? I might have a few stories after Manchester, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, and also I've loads of friends around for the next few. Everything social is coming together. My brother's home, girlfriend.
So you're definitely gonna do something feral.
My friends.
She didn't even deny. She's like
my friends are going to be home, and then also
and there's Rose of
from
Tralee.
Dublin. Oh,
we're
the
doing
Rose
a Rose of Tralee special.
Up. What date? The Rose of Tralee is the 18th.
Yeah, I thought I was going to miss it because
we're
of that
from Tralee.
Yeah, guys.
So
oh my god,
we will have a full pre-Rose of Tralee special.
Yeah,
we're gonna do a vlog because we're planning on using this. Actually, Niamh, I had this idea.
Yeah.
I said it on live, but you were actually gone. So we should do, because I want to start doing this because you know me, girlies. I'm a YouTube girly.
She's
so like
YouTube girly.
adding YouTube style videos to this podcast channel for YouTube, obviously not for Spotify or Apple, so sorry about that.
Yeah.
But wouldn't be hard for us.
No,
it wouldn't be like we just film it like we filmed the podcast. I edit it. I want to swap makeup bags.
Oh my god, that would be
you
so
do your
good.
routine like I do my routine, because our makeup is like very different. Like we're both glam but very different,
or even different shades. That's gonna be
but
so
even
funny.
like different styles of.
Yeah, I want you to do my makeup as well for a video one day because I think you're really good.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do that, but also I think we should do a Rose of Tralee vlog.
I think Rose of Tralee would be so fucking funny. Like it is just so quintessentially. Like
because we're from Tralee.
We're from Tralee.
Like
so
we grew, like it raised us. The festival raised us.
And it's the one time of the year your parents don't even bat an eyelid. Like at like the fact you're in town all day with your friends or you're out really late at night time and like
when we were younger, like we wouldn't come home for about 3 days. Like we'd go out, we'd stay in someone's house
all day, like
all night, crazy. Get up again, chicken roll on it. Like
it was so good.
It's nothing to do with like the what's on TV, because the Rose of Tralee is an international festival.
It's an international festival, but we actually don't see any part of that except for Midnight Madness. We used to always go to the Dome when it was on in the Dome.
Yes.
But
other
that's
than
not
that,
there anymore.
We're not seeing the rose, like we're not being like, oh, we need to go see the roses, we need to watch the selection. Like
we're in the town.
We're in the town.
It's like an actual festival in the town. It's so good.
It's so good. There's so much fun involved.
So my friend Dara came back from Manchester with me last year to see it, and she was like, when she was walking through town, she was like, "Make Tralee the capital of Ireland, like this is fucking class."
Like when I had like the festivals that we had all our friends around,
so good.
Like oh my god, I remember one year like with Gav and them, we had the best festival.
So
remember the video of us falling? Remember it was like me, Kate, and we're like, and I don't know. Anyway, it was like 6 a.m, post Midnight Madness, pre-Richie's.
Oh my god.
Like pre-Richie's. So post Midnight Madness, we went back to Una's drinking, and we were all on the, like, outside.
Yeah.
And there's a video, he put it on Facebook, like this was Facebook times.
This is so funny.
And it went, and he was like, Rose up Tralee or something.
Oh
and it's a video, like someone's taking a picture of us, but he's videoing, and we're like,
and then
we all fall.
Oh my god, it's so good.
It's like so funny. I'm going to try and find it so I can link it in the show.
So fucking funny, guys. It is just so like...
It's feral. Feral is the only word. Like
feral is actually what
last year I only went out once, like.
Same, and I was fucked for days after. No, I'm lying, sorry. We did, me and Dara arrived on the Thursday and we were flying out on the Sunday. We went to Sean Oaks on the Thursday night. I'm just talking, like, I flew in with makeup on me that morning.
Oh yeah,
we
you were in
drank 4
Manchester.
bottles of Prosecco. We were so drunk. We were drinking on the flight going over. Then we got here, and we drank loads of Prosecco. We went to Sean Oaks, got a cocktail or two. I actually think I blacked out. I was so drunk. We didn't even go to town. We just went to Sean Oaks. Then went home. Next day, Rose and Tralee, we went into town. It was me, Courtney, Lorna, Dara, and then Abby and Connor. We met them out. We were in the square for ages. We got a nagging before we went to the Dome, and the Dome got shut down because there was fighting on in it.
Yes, we didn't even, because last year was so different to all the other years. So, and everywhere was jointed. And when we were leaving, they were like, if you leave, you can't get back in. I was like, believe me, buddy, I don't want to get back in here. Like, it was so funny. Like, it was so bad.
Oh, so gas.
So we'll definitely be doing that. We'll definitely be doing a vlog. And I think that is the end of today's episode. There's not much else going on in the world that I want to talk about, I don't think. I think Barbie movies just having an era. You should all go watch it. And bring, if you have a boyfriend or someone you're dating.
Or go with your mom or your sister if you have a sister.
Well, I would go as a girls movie, but I would go a second time.
With the boyfriend.
With the boyfriend. Yeah, that's what I would do. So if your boyfriend doesn't want to go to the Barbie movie with you.
Red flag.
Red flag. Says 2 single girlies.
We're great at giving the advice, but taking it not so much. Guys, thank you so much for listening.
Don't forget to like, give us a rating on Spotify, follow us on Spotify, and rate us on Apple,
subscribe on YouTube,
subscribe to the YouTube, give
follow
us a comment.
us on Instagram.
Yeah, I love the Instagram.
The Instagram's a bit chaotic, to be fair.
It
I
is.
love it.
I just see things and I post it. And we do controversial
things, and also because we did get a bit of backlash with one of the things.
Actually, yeah, we need to talk about that for a second.
Yeah, before we
So I put up, what's your man's name?
Steve Lacey, is it?
No, the rapper.
Oh, Rema.
So Rema was on stage.
Yeah.
And he says, ladies, if he's not paying your bills, you're single. And it went kind of viral on TikTok and people were doing that sprinkle thing.
Yeah.
And it was me who put it up, and I put it up because I wanted to know where the girlies stood. I was like, do we disagree?
Yeah.
Do we agree?
Yeah.
Some people did agree. We got a few agrees. We got a few disagrees.
And I feel like the people who disagreed took it very seriously. We weren't stating that we believed that.
No,
we were
like
just
each
it was
to
open
their own.
to question.
It was open to discussion.
Yeah. But yeah.
Whether or not you're in a relationship, do you do the whole 50-50 thing? Or do you...
I feel like everyone does.
Like, do you know what? When the patriarchy... After watching Barbie...
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you can pay.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
I feel like
we don't live in a fair
I've
world.
actually gone on so many dates and I've always paid for my half. There's only been one in my whole life where I haven't paid for it. And that, like... We don't believe that. Like, I'll always offer and I'll always pay. Like, you know, it was just a controversial thing. So
I think on a first date the man should pay, and I don't think I've ever.
I think whoever asks,
like, sorry, I'm getting ready. I'm doing my makeup. Like, I'm investing a lot more.
I don't agree.
This.
I think whoever asks the person to go on the date should.
Yeah, but I
pay.
would never ask a man to go on a first date.
But you know, I would.
Really?
Yeah, I'd ask a man to go on a date.
Really?
Yeah, I would ask a man to go on a date.
You'd ask for a first date?
Yeah, I'd ask a man, would he want to go on a date?
Really?
Would you not? I feel like
I've never done that.
Oh my god, I would if I wanted to go on a date with him. I'd be like, we should go on a date. And then if he's like, yeah, we should, then I'll plan it because I've asked it.
Oh, well then, so you asked him on a date, so you're paying. Yeah, like, don't get me wrong, I'm as feminist as they come. But I'm like, if you're asking me for a date.
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
if somebody asks me, I'm like, please,
I'm doing my hair, I'm doing my
offer.
like, as a woman, there's like, do I need to get a blow dry? Do I need to get a wax?
Yeah,
you know?
I know.
So you're investing so much monetarily that they don't have to invest.
I'd love if like boys started like thinking outside the box with dates and started doing like if it was like a picnic one, or like if it was like, you know, like something cute like taking you to a museum or something. I prefer those kind of dates.
Yeah, or if it was like before you go on a date, it's like, oh, if you're getting your nails done and getting your hair done, like,
yeah, that's so cute.
Like, yeah, no, I do think, but I wouldn't be like a strong 50-50 kind of girl, because I'm like, we don't live in a 50-50 world.
We don't.
So,
we don't. I agree. You
know, it's up for discussion. But anyway, I do enjoy the controversial polls.
Yeah, so Please don't take.
So
them to
I'm
heart
not
when we
saying
do.
like if a man doesn't pay your bills, you're single. I think that's a bit.
Yeah.
But do you know what? A bit of controversy, a bit of thing to get people talking. So yeah, thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening,
Hasta
guys.
la vista. See
Bye.
you next week. We actually won't see them now till the week after.
We won't see you till the week after. No.
It'll be 2 weeks. We're gonna miss you.
See you in 2 weeks' time.
Ciao.
Bye.